Hey fighters! You're watching WrestleWire 24/7, your go-to for everything WWE. Subscribe, tap the bell, and let's dive deep. WWE NXT's latest segment demonstrated how ambition and ego can collide with explosive results. Last week's confrontation between Javon Evans and Ricky Saints highlighted more than athletic skill. It was a battle of identity, respect, and who truly deserves to be the face of the brand. The tension began as verbal sparring, but the words carried weight far beyond the ring. Both competitors brought a sense of entitlement and hunger that demanded attention. Evans, known for raw intensity and explosiveness, approached the situation ready to assert dominance through action rather than rhetoric. Saints, calm and calculated, represented poise, confidence, and the type of presence that commands a crowd without needing to throw a single punch. This contrast of styles and attitudes set the stage for a rivalry rooted in personality and principle, not just wins and losses. Javon Evans' explosive persona. From the moment Evans appeared, his intensity was undeniable. He made it clear that he viewed words as secondary to action, demonstrating a mindset built on directness and aggression. His reputation as one of NXT's most dynamic young talents is well earned, combining speed, power, and a willingness to take risks in the ring. Evans's approach to this confrontation underscored his belief that respect is earned through deeds, not speeches or self-promotion. By challenging Ricky Saints verbally and showing that he is unafraid of conflict, Evans reaffirmed his position as a credible contender and a star in the making. The crowd responded to his energy, recognizing the sincerity and fire he brought, setting a high-stakes atmosphere where the next encounter would likely escalate beyond words. Ricky Saints' composed confidence. Ricky Saints' entrance and demeanor offered a stark contrast to Evans' explosive energy. Saints presented himself as calm, confident, and fully aware of his own value to NXT. He emphasized emotional intelligence, maturity, and brand representation as essential qualities for someone aiming to be the face of the company. Saints' message was clear. Raw talent is not enough. One must carry themselves with poise, professionalism, and charisma. By asserting that he embodies these qualities, he positioned himself as the standard for aspiring stars. Saints' composure under pressure, along with his calculated words, created tension and rivalry that resonated with the audience, showing that NXT's top-tier competitors must balance physical ability with psychological and emotional intelligence to truly succeed. The verbal clash escalates. As Evans and Saints exchanged words, the conversation quickly escalated into personal territory. Evans called out Saints' interference and questioned his accomplishments, pointing to his own experience on major shows and high-profile events. The tension between them grew, reflecting a deeper narrative about recognition, opportunity, and perceived legitimacy within the wrestling world. Saints countered by emphasizing his brand presence and fan engagement, portraying himself as someone capable of representing NXT both in and out of the ring. This verbal sparring showcased storytelling that goes beyond simple in-ring victories, highlighting how character, reputation, and perception can carry just as much weight in determining a superstar's trajectory. The confrontation demonstrated the importance of narrative depth in elevating rivalries. Credentials and career achievements. Evans leaned heavily on his resume to validate his claim to prominence. He reminded the audience of his prior appearances on major programs, including high-profile matches alongside established stars. This appeal to his accomplishments was designed to contrast with Saints' image of composure and authority, highlighting the divide between perceived experience and actual exposure. By presenting tangible evidence of his credentials, Evans sought to assert that talent and track record should outweigh rhetoric. This dynamic created a compelling narrative as Saints' confidence and brand representation were tested against Evans' proven in-ring performance and high-profile history, making the rivalry multidimensional and engaging for fans invested in both characters' development. The question of respect. At the heart of the rivalry lies a question of respect. Evans argued that recognition and acknowledgement should be earned, not handed out based on perception or image. Saints, conversely, presented himself as the embodiment of professionalism and the qualities necessary to represent a brand effectively. The clash between these philosophies fueled the tension, emphasizing that in WWE, respect is not a singular concept, it is subjective and often contested. This confrontation served as a microcosm of larger debates within the company, whether success is defined by pure athleticism, charisma, or a combination of both. The audience was drawn into this moral and professional conflict, deepening engagement and anticipation for the resolution. Ava's intervention and match announcement. The verbal confrontation reached a critical juncture when NXT General Manager Ava intervened. Recognizing that the tension could escalate into uncontrolled physicality, she officially announced a match between Evans and Saints for the following week. Her decision framed the rivalry within a structured, competitive context, providing a clear narrative path for resolution. This intervention maintained order while simultaneously heightening the stakes, signaling to the audience that the next encounter would settle lingering questions about talent, respect, and legitimacy. Ava's role highlighted the importance of authoritative figures in narrative storytelling, providing direction and accountability while ensuring that character-driven conflicts translate into in-ring action. Tension reaches a boiling point. The build-up to the scheduled match intensified with every exchange leading up to the announcement. Evans's warnings and Saints' confident rebuttals created a palpable sense of anticipation, suggesting that the confrontation would likely escalate beyond typical competitive boundaries. The personal stakes, ego, reputation, and the fight for recognition added layers of emotional investment. Fans were not merely anticipating a contest of athleticism, but a dramatic clash that would define who could truly claim a spot at the top of NXT. The narrative demonstrated that rivalries in WWE are as much about character psychology and interpersonal dynamics as they are about physical competition, keeping audiences engaged at multiple levels. Psychological warfare and mind games. Underlying the rivalry is a strategic layer of psychological warfare. Evans's direct aggression and Saints' composed arrogance are tools in a broader battle for dominance. Each competitor uses verbal sparring, body language, and reputation to unsettle the other and influence audience perception. These tactics set the stage for future encounters where mind games, intimidation, and strategic timing could be as important as athletic execution. By combining character-driven narrative with competitive storytelling, NXT creates multifaceted rivalries that reward attention to detail and provide long-term investment for fans. The psychological component amplifies the impact of in-ring action and builds anticipation for decisive confrontations. Setting the stage for the next chapter. With the match officially scheduled, NXT has established a narrative arc that blends personal conflict, professional ambition, and brand representation. The rivalry between Evans and Saints is now framed not only by athletic ability, but by character credibility and audience engagement. The upcoming match promises to be more than a contest of skill. It represents a decisive battle for respect, authority, and the symbolic mantle of NXT's next top star. Fans can expect an emotionally charged encounter that tests physical prowess, mental fortitude, and strategic awareness. This storyline exemplifies how NXT combines long-term storytelling, character development, and competitive spectacle to maintain engagement and elevate emerging stars to new levels of prominence.